All right, welcome back to our podcast, Redeemed. We're having a lot of fun here this morning in the studio. We're going to be looking at Isaiah chapter 6. That's where our reading plan, somewhere in our reading plan there.
We're in Isaiah.
Yeah.
Isaiah, yeah.
But it's kind of the most famous of the Isaiah passages that has this vision that he's having where the Lord's calling him. And I think there's some interesting things that we can pull from there. There are some concepts and things that Isaiah sees that I think are very important. It starts out, of course, he's having this vision, and it talks about these six-winged creatures, or seraphim, if you will. With 2 wings, they covered their faces, and then with 2, they covered their feet, and with the other 2, they were flying. And they were calling to one another. I don't know. To me, that just creates kind of an interesting picture in my mind. Michael, I think, did a little bit of research on it, and the seraphim were what were they?
According to the commentary.
Commentary. Okay, there we go.
No research was done.
See, I don't know what research he did.
But I did click on the commentary. Seraphim are angelic creatures that seem to serve as a kind of honor guard for God. Not mentioned elsewhere, but their actions correspond to those of the living creatures of Revelations 4:6-9.
I just thought that was interesting. Honor guard.
Yeah, kind of interesting. And they even here they're calling to one another, "Holy, holy is the Lord Almighty. The whole earth is full of His glory." Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, and then if you continue there, it says, "At the sound of their voices, the doorpost and thresholds shook, and the temple was filled with smoke." And I don't know about you, but if I was having this vision, I'd be about ready to wake up about this point. You know what I'm saying? Okay, wake up.
I don't want to be asleep anymore.
Yeah, I don't know where this is headed, but I don't like it. And so there's something pretty phenomenal going on here, and the things that Isaiah has seen are pretty once in a lifetime, if you will.
Yeah.
And I love the way that Isaiah responds to it. He says, "Woe to me, I cried, I am ruined, for I am a man of unclean lips, and I live among a people of unclean lips, and my eyes have seen the King, the Lord Almighty." I like the way that he understands that he is too unclean to be seeing what he's seeing right now.
Yep.
And he's like, whoa. I myself am a man of unclean lips. And I think he understood what was fixing to follow, that the Lord was fixing to call to do him something.
Yeah.
Call him to do something. Man, I cannot talk. I am sorry. Fixing to call him to do something. And he wanted to make sure that the Lord understood that he was unworthy of that calling.
Yeah.
And he said, whoa. Got to back up here. I'm a man of unclean lips. And then one of the... and then as it continues... I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Whom shall I send, and who will go for us?" And this is the part that I think is very important. And Isaiah says, "What? Here I am, send me. Here I am, send me." What a great response to the calling that the Lord has given him. And you have to understand the message that the Lord has given him is not going to be one that's going to be easy to spread. I mean, basically, you have the judgment that is coming.
It's not going to be well received.
Mm-hmm. And
No.
now, granted, at the end of it, the Lord brings it all back around and brings people back to Him, but it's not going to be right away. And He steps up and says, "Here I am, send me." I think there's a lesson there for us, because I think sometimes the Lord has jobs for us, things He wants us to accomplish, and sometimes we miss them, and sometimes we say no.
Yeah.
We're more like, as we're talking about, Moses.
You have to have Moses' response.
Yeah.
Got to be somebody else.
Can't be me.
Yeah, send somebody else, not me, Lord.
There's got to be somebody else.
But not the case here. Isaiah stepped up and said, "Here I am, send me."
It's a response we should all have.
And it's a response we should also have, especially if we are Christians. Because somebody's got to do it. And I would rather be the one the Lord uses to do it than being on the other end of it, if you know what I mean.
It's a fact.
So I just think it's extremely important. Like I said, there's so much going on in that little passage. It's just amazing to me. The vision that he had, these things that he's seen. It'll be interesting to see that once we get to heaven, if those creatures will be there. You know what I'm saying? If we'll get to see something, or maybe these creatures, and it'll be interesting to see how much, if what he is exactly describing here is exactly what they look like.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Who knows?
So anyway. I think it'd be interesting. But the moral of the story here is just that the Lord gives you something to do, and whether it just be, and okay, let me rephrase that. He has given us something to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've been called to share the gospel. We've been called to, like I talked about on Sunday when I was preaching, was we are required to produce fruits in our lives that the Lord has put there.
Yep.
And if we're not producing those things, we're not sharing the gospel like we should, then we're not doing the things we've been called to do. But I believe that this was a step beyond that. The Lord is calling him for another job on top of that. And so his mission was he had to give this message to the people of Israel. And I think God does that sometimes, where he gives certain people certain missions and says, hey, you have to, will you do this?
Yeah.
And we have to be ready to say, here I am, send me.
Amen.
And so just an important lesson there. And it's probably nothing that most of us have not heard or understood, but sometimes it's just good to be reminded of it. Here I am, send me. I should write that on something and stick it on my bathroom mirror so I can read it every morning. Here I am, send me, Lord.
Write it backwards on your forehead.
Mm-hmm. So every time you look... And, at least then people would ask me, hey, what's that on your forehead?
Uh-huh. Just saying.
Yeah.
Started making a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. No, I don't think so.
So if I come next week and I have a new tattoo and it's written backwards, you'll know what it's there for. All right. Y'all guys have a great week, and we'll see you next time.